And here we have some models. I used to love putting together airplane models when I was growing up. Apparently there are different versions here. Not sure what the differences are. That one's got a piggyback on it. But in these pictures, they got an A-12, a YF-12, the MD-21. Now that one shows it's got the little piggyback on it. And then finally the SR-71. So apparently they used to go to each model. That's the one that's out front. It's slightly different shape than this one, which is the YF-12. Very similar. And then the MD-21. Don't know what that piggyback can do, whether he can launch that separately or it's an extra engine. And then the A-12. And it says in the literature here the A-12 was the first in the Blackbird series. So that must have been one of the prototype designs. Looks like it didn't change a whole lot. And one thing that's different here than the YF-12, the cone comes out to a rounded point there. All these others is sort of a flattened tip as opposed to rounded tip. It's flattened nose. Here we have the interior of the museum. Some of the older planes on this side. Not sure, but this might be the Sopwith Camel right here in front of us. A well-known World War I fighter airplane, biplane. No, it's the SPAD. 1917 SPAD 7. It's a SPAD. That's all I know. There's a replica. And that's the Wright Brothers plane there. They've got several designs which were some of the earlier designs, and this is a model of the, I think, the final last design that made history. Big propeller on the back. And all the airplane models, a lot of these blue ones were, in fact, all of these planes, maybe Navy planes, famous for being on aircraft carriers. You can tell, partly because some of them, the wings fold up. Again, that makes room for more planes on the same deck. But also the blue and the gray colors are very popular with Navy planes, being over water and not greenery, such as some of the other theaters of action. And here we have a 1915 Fokker, one of the earlier single wing planes rather than biplanes. There's a German fighter, the PF-ALZ. And the Sopwith Camel. There's my Sopwith Camel. And you can see this one right here, this green one. How it looks very much like that SPAD over there, which would be easy to make that mistake. There's another Fokker, a German make plane. And then here's the Albatross. I always liked the design of the Albatross. It was one of the first closed cowl planes. If you notice where the propeller is, most of these other planes have open cowls, meaning the front end where the propeller is open, allow the airflow to go through. But the Albatross doesn't have that open area, so it looks more like modern aircraft, and I guess I like that about it. Also, it's a nice, smooth-looking design. And that is the Fokker triplane, similar to the one Baron von Richthofen, the German ace, flew in World War I. And here we have an engine that doesn't even have a cowl. I guess that's the pistons are actually somewhat exposed to the airflow around them. And this is one of Byrd's aircraft. First explored an Arctic expedition. Byrd and Arctic expedition. There's some pictures of him out there on the ice. And I guess in a parka. And it looks like either the real thing, it might be one of his parkas. Special face mask there. Old flashlight. And some sort of a, probably navigational device, a sextant maybe. Speed and drift meter is what they're saying it is. So maybe that's not a sextant, but a meter of some sort. Noon Greenwich apparent time. Some sort of a clock maybe. And there you have a case full of airplanes. Oh boy, as a kid I'd have gone crazy with all those airplanes. Isn't that wonderful? And that might even be the Spruce Goose or similar. Very interesting plane. It's a Dornier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 6 pusher-puller propped engines on top of the wing. Very unusual shape. Again, Byrd's an Arctic airplane there. Stars and Stripes, they calls it. Has actual skis or skids rather than wheels for landing. And there we've got a sled. And that may have been a camera used on the expedition. And here we have a Huey helicopter. Vietnam era. Twin propped. Non-fixed wing as they call it. The wing rotates. The propeller is actually the wing. And you can see in this configuration they've got it where you had a couple of people sitting back behind the pilot and the navigator there, and you have 3 people in these structures for air evac. This whole side has a sliding door which is open for easy access. And here we have, well, yeah, I'll try to talk over in the video presentation. Airmail being one of the first uses of aircraft. But here's the engine from the SR-71. Oh, those little pipes and lines. Imagine any of them being out of place or clogged or broken. And that's the front of the turbine that goes on that SR-71. Here's the other side. And it's quite long. It's a little bit difficult to see how long it is, but it's probably 30 feet, 20 feet at least.